Spring, wait for that river to open up, so it'll wash off that intake.
Yeah.
Not gonna open up. Not for a long time.
Well, we're talking 30s to next couple
How's
days.
it going?
There you go.
Not too bad.
It was only in the 20s last time we opened up. Not a diehard, only till the ice is on. I've seen guys go out there when it's still, you know, they'll fish the channel up to where the deadwater sinks. Nah, well, you know, that's all cool. I like it. 99%. And, you know, there's a little ice in the water, that's fine.
You guys ready to buy a new truck again?
What'd you do?
Yeah, what'd you do?
We don't have
Which one?
Green Giant.
Let's get rid of that.
Huh?
Let's get rid of that.
Green Giant? No, that's too big truck.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Did it freeze up on you?
Not too sure what happened. But, it's not on water.
Don't wanna hear it. You spent your allocation, man.
Hopefully it's just like an impeller or something.
It might be, we had it rebuilt actually, what, 5 or 6 years ago, the pump. But it's still, at that time when it went bad, it made noise. It's not making noise now, but it won't pump. It's, well, it tries to pump. And we're almost hoping that there's something plugged down in there, on the second side of it. We have a tank relined last year, and it's hoping it's plugged. But it's supposed to be up like 40 degrees on Wednesday. We're gonna take it down the street and dump it and call it and take a look.
You don't wanna wash the floors,
Sure.
right?
We do much in here, it's like a cow.
Hmm.
If they get rid of that oil trap down there.
Oh, sure.
They drain out the floor in the street.
Hello.
Yeah,
You
sure.
guys should do that, Larry.
Good, how are you guys?
Get rid of that oil trap down.
What's your bad?
So we can drain water out of up here and not flood the bottom.
Thought. Yeah.
Hopefully there's not as much wrong with that.
What's the wash on?
Hi, I was last one of the
Yeah, that truck is old, but it works way too good.
Yeah, I know. When did it happen? At the trailer house fire?
Probably before that, because we got it up there and
Oh, okay.
You see where it's like,
I've seen them all up.
well,
Yeah.
Well. Somewhere you got here. So where are we at with districts?
Girls are getting down here Saturday, that's wrong a little bit after set aside.
I think it's another week after that.
Yeah.
Boys
not
have
good.
like at least 2 more games.
Either way, I'm sure it's fixable.
Well, I hope so. you
So
know.
they haven't started their tournament.
For being the first active fire that we've used that new one on, oh, that thing's sweet.
Oh, is it? I'll bet, huh?
I mean, it's so simple to operate.
Oh, really? Cool.
You want pressure, you just tip it, and it's all automatic, you just hit the button,
Okay.
away you go.
I like to hear.
Kind of figured to replace the Green Giant with a likeable truck, we'd probably be looking at about $500,000 for that one.
Better start saving your nickels and dimes.
I'll bet you a couple cents. That truck is in too good a shape to replace it.
Yeah, okay. Well, we can't afford to replace it anyway,
We can
so,
put quite a few thousand into it,
yeah.
and before we even have to think about it.
I'm gonna let Maria give it a go.
Okay.
It's gonna be hard to stack
Well, sit there. You lucky?
Hey, what? You left a check on my desk. Oh.
That me. Blank one?
Directly from you.
She won money in the Lions raffle.
Oh, cool.
So,
I have a desk too downtown. Oh, right? No, you're making the rounds. Give us one more item.
So your camera's working now?
As far as I know, I just tested them again.
So you don't know?
They were recording, and I could hear the volume over there, so it should be working.
You wanna see the check? Oh, I guess I don't need to sign up.
no.
That, that's their sales.
I don't have my cell phone, so I can't look. Six what?
28.
Oh, like 6:20. What?
Here, just in case yours doesn't work, we'll put this on. All right. You running the meeting tonight, or?
Well, Bill's on, so.
Oh, apparently you are, Rick. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. The February 12th, 2018 City Commission meeting. Okay, we have approval of the minutes. I have a couple of changes here. Sharon, I'll put one over there for you. Basically what it is, when we had the motion to approve the task order number 12, I think the amount of money should have been put in there also. Okay? And then, under portfolios, I would like, it rewritten this way rather than the way it was written under my portfolio. And then at the bottom, it said, you know, unofficial minutes. Well, you know, in the minutes there, she said that I requested they be put at the bottom of the page, which I never did. You know, I requested they be put at, you know, listed as unofficial minutes, not just a little tiny thing at the bottom of the page. So I would like that corrected so that, you know, it should read on top, you know, City of Washburn, unofficial city minutes. Because somebody asked me about that, they go, you know, it's about the unofficial minutes. I never saw it in there. Well, here it was at the bottom, it's under the bills, so.
Well, is this a spot just to chat about the minutes too?
Yeah,
Because,
absolutely.
so if, just a quick question, if we're publishing minutes as unofficial, so then the next meeting, so we'll have minutes, we'll have a meeting tonight, and then they'll be in the paper this week.
It'll be in the paper within 7 days, hopefully.
That'd be fair. And then we approve them, well, we approve them the next month.
The next month, or the next meeting.
Yeah, so I guess the question is, if that whole month, if there is a correction that needs to be, but the community is seeing these minutes as they are published within 7 days,
Mhm.
how do we correct that? Of course, we can't approve minutes at the end of our meeting, and I know you've always probably done that, but we put them in as unofficial.
Well, we couldn't approve them at the end of the meeting because we wouldn't know what they are yet.
Fair.
You know, this way, because people say, you know, have said to me before, granted, it's been a while, but they said, you know, well, I read this in there, and I go, well, that wasn't actually right, you know, the minutes were corrected. So people, when they see minutes, they think they're official, and they're not until the next month.
But then we don't publish them after we make them official.
We don't, but in the minutes for that next month, we put the corrections we
Yeah.
made. So
There's no way to get ahead and have them approved in that 7 days, because that's just not, it's just
No.
not feasible.
No.
So to have them as unofficial, so everyone knows
right.
that if they have questions, they could still contact the city for clarification, is, okay.
Sure.
And that's really common, I mean, from the newspaper side of stuff, that's what, I mean, every entity does, is
Gotcha.
they put in, most of them don't actually specify that they're unofficial, but they are, and so, you know, they actually have time to approve, because, yeah, usually you don't approve them till the next meeting, and,
Right. Yeah, I have seen other towns, you know, do theirs that way, so.
yeah.
Sure.
And that's why I figured it'd be a good idea, so.
Yeah.
I move to approve the minutes with the changes
Okay,
for January.
okay,
I'll second that.
okay. Any further discussion? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Yes. Okay. Approval of financials. I have a question here. I'm assuming that you're familiar with these, Sharon?
John generates all the financials.
Well, you have all these here without a batch name and a number. I'm assuming those are budget items, is that
The top ones, yes.
what those are? Okay, that's what I assumed they were, so I just figured I would ask that. So, okay. Everybody was familiar with that? I mean, why all those numbers are in there? Okay. I do have some other questions, but I'll have to wait. You know, I can ask that, Joan. I can come in and ask her on some of these cash balances, but for this meeting, it really doesn't affect it, so.
I'll move to approve financials.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Yes. Okay. I lost mine. Weber estimate for lights in city shop and outside lights.
Well, I'm gonna, just for sake of conversation, I'm gonna, motion to accept the estimate and, go ahead with the project of the lights.
I'll second that to go to discussion.
Now, the question I have is the $208 for disposal. Do we wanna pay that and have them do it, or do we just wanna put them in garbage bags and throw them away ourselves?
Circle takes them,
Yeah, that's what I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So should we just say
Yeah.
we don't need that portion?
why not, yeah.
Well, are they, just a question, the ballasts, are they disposing of them in a certain way? Or is that something we can just throw in?
Well, I know the lamps, they said we can put in bags and
Right.
put in the,
Yeah. I guess we can ask them about the ballot. but-
I think we should, yeah, just in case we're not, just so we're not doing the wrong thing by.
Right, but I do know they take the bulbs.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I do know that for sure.
so do we wanna table that then, until we get those answers?
We should.
What we were told, the other one, if I remember right, Circle would take like 2 of them, I'm not sure a week.
Hmm.
That's how it worked out, so they didn't want a whole slug of them thrown in there at one shot.
Oh,
Okay.
well, we could sure table it until we, talk to them, I guess. Can you, Sharon, can you call Circle and see if they will take the bells and lights? Okay, let's table that. I guess on that too, I was questioning, or when I was looking through it, it says, 2 on the south side, 5 on the north side. What about the shop side? Have those been replaced, or, those have been replaced, right?
Yeah, they did, last year we did the shop side,
That's right, we did.
and above the
Doctor
people.
in front one stayed
Yeah.
last year and decided to wait.
Okay,
Right,
yeah,
There's one-
those are already done, okay.
the one burnt out, and,
Okay. Okay,
so this is a budgeted item,
great.
but Sharon,
What?
I'll rescind my motion. Remember I had a motion, he seconded it, so we're gonna table it, so I suppose I have to rescind the
Oh,
motion.
yes, very good. Good call,
This
good
is
call.
this is the actual estimate I was going to sign if we voted on it, so I just.
Okay. Bob Offset. Not here. Renee Bauer, Burnt House. Not here.
I think she was going to be here.
She was supposed to be here, but are you want to talk about that, or?
I'm just here to see what the city wants to do with it. Renee has asked me to do a bid on it, but
We don't know what she wants. I don't know what she wants.
We're not sure what she wants. We've just had some complaints by neighbors and that, and we were wondering what the plan was.
Sharon, do you know what she wants?
Well, she had mentioned about, to you about, pushing into the hole. And then she had talked to the sheriff's department, or not sheriff's department, fire department, wondering if they can, have it pushed back and then burn down, because they won't burn it where it's at, right?
Yeah.
With that-
Too many wires, right?
Yeah. And even pushing it back, you start doing that, you get into a big pile. And
Wow.
it depends on where it's at, how big a pile you've got, and
So you're saying there's a chance?
burning it's a iffy deal to start with. And even Dennisville was gonna burn that one, that was a fairly small house, it was pretty fast, and it was a fair distance from its neighbors.
Right.
But somewhere along that night when it got really hot, I'm pretty sure if you went and looked real close at the siding on Gordy's house, you'd see my fingerprints.
Wow.
That's when she was watering down, it got hot. That's where, we're just not comfortable burning that thing.
so, I do have a question.
Yes.
Would you approve a demo that would just push it over? I think
So,
that she,
what do you mean by just push it over? And not clean it up, you mean, or?
right, what she wants, what I understood what she wanted me to do bid on it was just to push it over, and then so she can take the shingles off, and then she's hoping that they'll burn it, but.
She had a lot of ideas, but one of them, we can't burn it. Even if you push it in the basement, it's still, you can't burn it there. And if you put it all back, it just depends on how big a pile you up at, right?
Plus you'd have a mess pushed all the way back there.
If I had to guess, no matter where you put it back there, I don't think we can burn it. It's not enough room back there. Fair amount of space, but it's pretty good size house.
I mean, if she wants it, knocked down, I guess she can hire you to do that, but it still has to be cleaned up, and you can't bury it in there, so, I guess I would be leery just knocking it down without, a plan to follow up on, so. Yeah, right. Sure. Do you think she'll be in later, maybe, or? Well, we'll see if she comes
She's
in.
aware of it,
If she
so-
comes in, we can. Okay. Mark Wilm?
I'm here on behalf of the Washburn Lions Club.
Okay.
We have our annual Lions Carnival coming up, March 17th. I was wondering if the city would waive the fee.
I move we waive the fee for the Lions Carnival on March 17th.
Second that.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? We haven't voted yet. Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Yes, okay. You might have said no. John Kugler? Not here.
And I think on that portion, I think there's been issues with parking, with not being able to clean it up, and also parking stuff,
I drove by
On the
there
sidewalk.
today, his motorcycle's on the sidewalk.
and so is the trailer.
Okay, yeah, something needs to be done.
Yeah.
It's not his private,
No.
land for parking.
So is that something we want to send a letter to, or has that already been done?
Well, has the sheriff's department been ticketing him and stuff?
I talked to him again about it.
Do they ticket him? No.
They had done 3 tickets, I think it was 3 last month, like that.
All right.
I know you talked to the police department too about them,
Well,
But the city has not sent a letter.
Well, we've
Yep.
talked to him a couple of times about it, and that's why he came in and wanted to be on the agenda.
Oh, it's two.
Probably,
Twice
sorry,
now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, twice now he was on the agenda, it did show.
Probably send a letter, so there we have something in writing, I would say. Okay? And you'll draft that, and then
Yep.
you can just,
Send it out to you guys.
yeah. Thank you. 2017 audit?
It's almost done. There's one more item left. There's a new federal regulation in 2016 that they're working on, and that's just the only thing item left.
So this is the 16 audit? Okay.
Yep, they're still working on it. They're almost done though.
And then just on that topic, we had mentioned maybe scheduling in the 17 audit,
Yep.
but we were gonna wait until the 16 was
Complete.
officially
Yep.
complete and,
And Joan
okay.
had called around about estimates, and they had said it depends on what the 16 one costs as to what they would estimate for the 17 one.
Okay. I see we have a bill from the audit company, right?
I
Yep.
believe so.
So is that their final bill, or, I mean,
It wouldn't be, I wouldn't think so.
It showed it as a progress,
okay, I just, I didn't.
so it was, I guess it said progress billing. So it's not a final.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't do the bills.
Pledge of security. Pretty self-explanatory, I would say. I don't think there's any action we need to do on that.
You do need a motion on just approving them.
Oh, we do?
Yep.
Okay.
Have to be done twice a year.
Okay, we, accept the, accept the pledges of, pledge of securities from the Department of Security Bank.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Yes. Okay, resolution remaining in the Red River Corridor Fund. I was gonna ask Ken if she knew anything about this, if, is this something we should be in? When I looked at the map of where all the cities are, we are like way on the western edge, with nobody really even close to us.
I don't know a lot about the Red River Corridor Fund, but I can look into it. I guess my question would be, what is the question about it? What's the resolution?
Whether
we
we're,
should be in it?
yeah, whether we're gonna continue to be.
We
in
should
it.
remain in it, right?
What benefit have we gotten from it before?
That's what I was kinda wondering.
I don't know.
Well, the way it looks is it's some kind of a guaranteed loan program for businesses, from what I read. And that was on their website, not necessarily what we were handed out. I read their website today. But it almost seems like, you know, it's a check with your local lender first, which I don't even know if the bank's involved in that. And if your local lender is not part of it, then call them. But in order to qualify for their guaranteed loans, you have to be in the,
Maybe that's something we can check on and see if it's
Corridor.
worthwhile.
yeah, that's what I would say. So no, you've never addressed that, Tana, with anybody that's come in looking for,
No, because we have our own funds
okay,
that we utilize.
Right.
There's business startup or whatnot. You know, I guess reading through what this is, it's kind of like the Lewis and Clark, I don't know what they are, too, that they do loans. So if we're a part of this, it just means that any business would have one more option for lending.
mhm.
So,
Is this the first you've heard about this, as far as us being in it, or?
yes,
Okay,
so definitely something I should look into further.
yeah, okay.
Maybe we'll table it till next meeting and then,
I'll research it more before the
Okay.
next meeting. I guess, what came up to bring this?
We got an email from them. I mean, that's all I know.
And what did the email say? Just whether or not we wanted to start in it?
I believe so.
Does it cost us anything?
I think, I'm not sure, I don't know.
What this is it's an amendment to services agreement, is what needs to be signed, from what I understand, by looking at it, but I'm not sure.
Does it have a expiration or a drop date that we have to address?
I don't see anything.
Sharon, you don't remember a timeline on it where we were supposed to act in a certain?
I normally don't do any of that stuff.
Gotcha.
I didn't even look at it.
I guess I would like to know if it's costing us money, or,
Yeah.
you know,
It's worthwhile.
I mean, if it's not costing us anything, I guess it's fine, but,
Red flags come up when it says Red River.
exactly. Like I said, we are way on the western edge.
But
so.
we're a municipal partner is what they call it.
Right.
And, I mean, they say there's 36
36, yeah.
communities that are a part of this.
And maybe it is worthwhile, but I suppose we can have more information.
I think so, too.
Would you mind if I get a copy of that,
Oh,
just so that I
absolutely.
can look at it?
I will give you my copy, Tina.
Thank you.
So that will be tabled. Okay, we have salary increase. Be nice if everybody was here for that. I did some calculating on, you know, when the health insurance went up in July. And, what it worked out per hour was, for a family plan, it was $1.07 per hour, you know, is what it cost. And then for a single plan, it was 41 cents per hour.
Yeah, I honestly think if we're going to be talking about pay raises or anything like that, we should have
I agree.
couple, you know, should have everybody here,
I would think so.
you know, yeah, the whole board. But that's whatever everybody thinks.
Reese, what do you think?
Just, I guess if it'd be nice if it were timely, you know, if we were looking at this, we should almost consider it
Well,
right at the beginning of the year, so.
We need to consider this in like November and December instead of January, you know.
Well, one question, reviews are completed when?
I think we did them in October.
So that would work if that's how it rolls out, maybe in November right away we look at having this discussion, because then now it's gonna be March.
Right.
Only problem is though, is then there wouldn't be any raises for this year.
Well, he's talking for next year.
Oh, for next year.
For
Yep,
next
yep,
year,
okay, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's talking for
Okay.
next year, right.
No, I agree with that.
because if we do table it because we don't have other commissioners, or the full commission, then it's gonna be March, and it's
Yeah, no, that's true.
retroactive is fine, but I don't know.
Well,
I
I
don't
don't-
think it's fair to employees to
Yeah.
keep postponing.
Right. You know, and there has been some extenuating circumstances that have caused us to delay this too, so.
That's true.
Okay, so we'll table that then. Okay, we'll get it done next month.
Yes, the last delay.
Okay. A2S. We're going for the shortest meeting in history, Jasper.
All right, I'll be quick then. Just a quick update on the intake improvements project. The guys are working hard on the design. Probably the biggest thing was meeting with the DOT over the last month, and they wanted us to, as soon as we could, submit our plans for the whole site, just what we were planning to do with that hill and where the intake itself was going, and in order for them to consider the permit for down there. And we got all that done, we got it to them, so now we're just waiting for their comments back. They were, I think, both happy and concerned in the same conversation about taking that hill away. So I think that they were, they said they're grading more of their bridge embankments like that, but just the idea of always moving dirt can be a little scary. But they wanted to see our geotech report, what our grading plan is, and they'll have their people look at it, but they didn't see it as being a big issue. So a couple Army Corps permits are being worked on, and the sovereign land permit. I was hoping to come with news on the grant application, but as of last week, they hadn't heard, so hopefully we'll have to wait till next month to give a report on that. And I know there is a 60% design review meeting scheduled this month, but I do think that Eric wants to get together, hopefully this week, Larry, just to talk about...
This week with her.
Okay. Just talk about a few things. Number one, just a little bit more on the DOT meeting we had, and just some of the concerns that they raised, and then to talk about the existing intake building and kind of leaving that, whether we do that or not, and then we have some pump questions for you guys, but
Okay.
those are details for that meeting.
Actually,
Oh, sorry. Just so we're under the same understanding though, is we did vote on the task order number 12, which didn't give the full authority to do the project.
right.
You know, I think sometimes people have a misconception that, you know, the chances are we're going through that process, but we still have to vote on it.
Oh, exactly, yeah, and that's good to bring that up,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, based on the schedule, we would be looking to ask permission to advertise probably at the March meeting, just the way the dates all line up, so just keep that in mind.
I was gonna say too, that except for tomorrow morning, I should be available. Got a little reprieve from work, so.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
That's all I had on the intake project. The design is moving along. So.
I have a question on, I guess it concerns the intake. It kind of goes off on a little bit of a tangent, you know, they got this, this thing where they wanna, you know, build that emergent sandbar habitat for the plovers and all that. If they build that north of the intake, or upstream of the intake, the increased, more than likely, the increased washing of the sand, would that be an issue for our intake?
I actually called him already on that.
Yeah, we looked into it. So far, that project doesn't have a whole lot of support from the state.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's what I have to go on right now.
But if
And
it is
if it
allowed,
did-
is that a concern?
If it did, I think we would definitely encourage you guys to go, maybe with you, but
Yeah.
to voice concern about
There
potential.
was a meeting in January, I was gonna go to that, but I didn't make it. But yeah, I mean, I think there were 2 south and 1 north, and the north one would be very concerning to me. So,
Yep,
okay, just wanted to mention that.
it's out there and we're aware of it, we're tracking it.
Okay.
So this is for the piping clover?
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically to build up sandbars.
Right. So then, you're saying it doesn't have the support, but is there an opportunity to get on the front side of it and collaborate a little bit with that initiative in this to get some knowledge as far as how it would maybe impact instead of?
Well, they did have that public meeting, but it was in
Yeah.
Bismarck, and they...
You didn't go, right?
No, and they gave only a day notice.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes, but absolutely.
But it's on your
If
purview,
it does,
your
yeah,
map.
we're watching it and tracking it, and if it comes up again, we'll plan to attend the meeting.
Okay.
The water treatment plant ceiling, I did reach out to Dave Lindell last week, so I'll leave it on the monthly engineer's report now until something gets resolved, but the ball is in motion, but I didn't get a chance to meet with him.
Has that ever been redone since it was painted? I mean, did they ever come back and redo it after the initial painting?
No.
So
No.
it's been an issue ever since then, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's been a long time.
So just one quick, to go back to the intake project. What options do we have to have more of an interface with the community? You know, that article in the paper from the last meeting kind of spoke to some transparency concerns, and you know, this is a venue where the residents can ask questions and we can go over things, but are there other meetings where that's a possibility as well, so we could have them informed? Like, what are we looking at for options?
Well, I would assume that when you're in a city commission meeting, that's where the decisions are made, so I would assume that they would want to come to this or reach out to us.
And honestly, it's not like it was brought up at one meeting and that was it.
Right.
It's been talked about
Oh,
quite a
no,
bit.
no,
So,
but, you know, as far as the focus meetings here and there, do we benefit from advertising and opening that up for
I mean,
just to discuss project details, how it impacts the community?
Well, we could, I guess.
Well, I would say when we're bringing it up at the agenda, well, we should have it on the agenda just about every month, because we're gonna be talking about it, you know, and at any of those times, you know, they would be able to, you know, we still have to figure out how it's going to affect the community ourselves. You know, and that's gotta happen before we vote on it. So once we have the numbers, you know, once we get all the grants in and that, we'll have more firm numbers for people.
Sure. Well, I think it caught attention there last time, which is good. And one other item was, okay, on our agenda items, and maybe this is holistically for our agenda. So say we had bullet points underneath the AE2S engineering to say that 2018 intake improvement project and
Yeah, I would say that's
the water
something we
treatment
should-
plant ceiling
That's something
change.
we should do,
Yeah, that'd be good.
you know.
Sure.
yep.
That would be a quick way to get transparent info out, so just wanted to talk to that while
Yeah,
you're still
no, I agree.
addressed.
But yeah, I guess to
Yeah.
answer your question, there are options to, you know, anything from a public input meeting to providing, you know, something like the brochure that's sitting in front of you right there, to doing,
Sure.
better messaging through social media. All those are options, I guess.
and Jasper's main line's available, right, Sharon? If anyone wanted to reach out and talk to Jasper, call the city, and is that
Yeah.
fair?
Yeah, I
Questions?
mean, I would be interested to hear what you're hearing, you know, too, just to get some background. But-
Personally?
Haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
No, just,
I haven't heard
just,
anything.
Okay.
just the idea of the transparency, the.
Yeah. Okay.
Larry.
Larry, I have something to add to that.
Yes.
too. Right now, we are looking at engaging with AE2S, also WAITA is, in that, we have a grant from the Department of Commerce, Partners in Marketing Fund, that those dollars we're gonna utilize to market the community. So in working with AE2S, part of what I would like to see happen, and my board is in agreement also, is that we get ahead of some of these projects and we put a positive message out there that we're building for your future. We're, you know, improving our community for your, I mean, some of those kind of things. So that's the kind of messaging we can get out to through that, so we get ahead of some of this stuff too.
Yep.
That's it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Portfolio.
Nothing for me.
Reese?
The airport authority will meet on March 1st at the airport for their quarterly, and then the library is gonna meet on the 27th of February for their quarterly, board meeting. And then, the old courthouse, near as I can tell, Nathan Hacker was coming in to do some measurements and design from JLG Engineering to look at a concept design. Rhonda, do you have any info?
He just decided, or gets the measurements to do a floor plan, and then he can decide from then what he would need to do, come up with an idea.
So his floor plan came in because you couldn't find any drawings for the buildings, or for the building at all, so he had to go in and measure everything. And then he also took the information that Larry had previously for the basement bids from Basement Innovations. And then, there was one other bid in that packet, so he has all that information. But he's
Okay.
gonna drop a concept design.
And he is 75% complete, and he plans to come meet with you very soon, and I got an email from him today,
Okay,
so he's getting close.
sounds good,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
That was it?
Okay, I got some things here that were left here. Okay, needs to be approved and signed. It's the, North Dakota Department of Health contract for laboratory services. And basically, it's just a contract for, you know, lab services to the state. So I will move that we, go ahead with the contract with the state for laboratory services.
Is it an annual fee?
Yeah, well, no,
Or is it just the,
it's, I
It's
suppose,
an agreement that
we will do our
they charge-
test?
We send the stuff and they charge us and we.
Oh,
charge.
gotcha.
Oh, so why wasn't this just in our bills?
Well, this is an agreement.
Oh, okay, all right.
well, yeah, I guess it must, it needs to be approved, so I said we're gonna make a motion on it.
Okay,
Yeah, I
fine.
don't
I'll second that.
know. All in favor?
All right.
Yes. Then there's one to be, a member of the Civic Club, and it would be $125 for 2018. And I'll move that we, renew the Civic Club membership for $125.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Yeah, so we're a member as a commission or a city, what's the?
City.
The city itself is.
Oh, okay.
City, yeah. Any other questions? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Yes. Okay, and then WIDA membership. I'm assuming it's a business for $150. So we'll need a motion on that.
I'll move to become and we have been a WAITA member. I'll move to become a 2018 WAITA member, business member for $150.
Okay, I'll second that. Keith?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes. Other than that, I don't think I have anything. I don't. Anybody? Wait, you're here. Nothing?
He was just priming up for that truck.
I know.
Sure.
Anybody else? Sharon?
The McLean County Local Emergency Operations Stakeholder, they're having a meeting on Thursday, first at 7 p.m. at the courthouse. You guys are welcome to attend. The Northern Plains National Heritage Area Public Meeting, the whole day meeting up at the Wisdom Park Pacific Center. That is on February 20th at 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m.
This is what again? I'm sorry.
This is the Northern Plains National Heritage Area meeting.
Okay.
Is that the one that had been a short scheduled invite?
Yeah, that was the second meeting.
Yep.
Is that,
Nobody else showed up for the other one.
well, that one was, I did actually, yeah, that was a tough one
I think
to,
I found out like 2 hours before.
yeah.
Yeah, so they would really like someone to attend that. And then we are closed on President's Day.
That's what, next Monday?
Monday, yep.
Anybody else?
You have a question, Larry?
Yes.
Fire hydrants in, trail court up there,
Yep.
he's actually responsible. Talked to Turk a little bit this morning, and he gave me a straight answer.
Well,
It'd be one of those gray areas.
it's one of those things where, when the city flushes, they should go up there and do that. Because it's part of the maintenance program.
They were kind of kicked out of there. Now,
They were?
I guess, I understand, a couple years ago.
Ooh,
That was one of the issues that we had on Saturday when we broke a hydrant. The one by Carter's place.
Yeah.
We think we twisted off the stem.
Oh, joy. It's not open, is it?
No, we made sure of that.
Well, I mean, you know, they're made to be fixed,
Yeah,
and we have this stuff to fix them.
that's the idea of it. But, that's, I was wondering, okay, what those hydrants feed on, is that after the meter for him?
I believe so.
Okay, so if we start pumping a whole bunch of water out of one of those hydrants,
Or, no, I believe, I take that back. I think that he would not be metered for that.
okay.
I think. I'm pretty sure on that. I'm like 85% sure on that, so.
But, I know, some of the conflicts that have gone on with that trailer course in the city in the past, I can see why he didn't want to go into the mess with the hydrants. He was gonna take care of it himself, apparently.
Thing is, it's a city water system, we can't really allow people to do that. You know, I mean, if they want to be on our water system, they have to let us do our maintenance on that, and, you know, we have looked at ownership on that before, many years ago, and, you know, we researched maps and stuff, and, if I remember right, their system comes off of the main, if I'm thinking correctly.
And about by that one, right by Wagon, I think. Kind of across the street from my property. that
Yeah,
comes into that.
yeah. Right, well, that's where their meter pit is over there. Well, it's actually a loop, it's loop.
Yeah, through there, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's loop, it comes back through past super value and by standard there, so, yeah. It's all loop, so. But if they tell us, you know, we can't go in there, then I think we have a real issue with them. Because that's part of our maintenance program, we have to do that, state requires that, so.
Kind of just have hydrants.
Yeah.
I'll try and remember to talk to Brian about that, but if there's ever an issue, you should come talk to me. And
If it didn't become just, because we broke it on Saturday morning, it didn't affect us.
I meant, but the maintenance issue.
But, if we have something else in there where we really need the water,
Right.
that's what, there's about 5 hydrants in that trailer court.
Well, and that's why we test hydrants to make sure they work, so. Yeah.
I'll visit with her.
Yeah, it's been many, many years since we've repaired a hydrant, especially down below. Is it down below broke off or up on? You don't know?
I'm not sure, I didn't go up and look at it.
Okay.
So, Brian went up there this morning and looked at it just to make sure it wasn't on.
Right.
I'd asked Travis who's up there when it broke, and, he's actually was on the ramp, and it's now. So I'm guessing that it probably broke out down below.
Well, it obviously hasn't been tested in a while then.
But I think it was, I wouldn't sure, I think.
Yeah, they do. They do.
So,
Well, you lube the top, you know.
Yeah.
Can't lube. Okay. Well, yeah, just, I mean, if anything comes up on that, just let me know. And, we'll take care of it. So. It'll have to be fixed, probably not till spring, so.
yeah, you won't end up with it.
No. Okay.
The advantage is we pull out the whole 9,000 gallon of water.
Right.
That's all.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, bills?
Well, the only question I have on the bills is there's a physical in part of the bills for one of the employees. I'm kind of questioning.
That's for Brian's CDL, and I was wondering about that too.
I don't know if we should be paying for something.
I don't know
physical.
why we should have to pay, I mean, if having a CDL is part of your requirement for work, I mean, it's part of his licensing. You know, we don't pay for a person's driver's license,
Right.
because you have to have a driver's license to work.
Yeah, I question that one.
So I'll leave that up to your discretion, I mean, if,
So it is in the job description?
well,
As a qualification, or did it?
well, I don't think it's in job description, but in order to drive, you know, the tandem dump truck, and I don't even know if that requires a CDL.
What's GVW on?
I don't know.
If I had to guess.
Got air brakes though,
It's probably close.
probably is. You know, but the thing is, it's basically just used in town.
Was there like a 50 mile? What's the radius that it's allowable? Is there,
I don't know if there is a radius.
have we paid for that in the past? Do you remember?
I don't ever
I'm
remember
not sure, I
paying
thought
for
we did
one.
last year, but I'm not positive, but it was a bill submitted to us, so therefore we bring it to you, right?
Yeah.
Farmers are the only ones that get away with that.
Right.
Right, but yeah, I didn't know if that's,
And we get by with a couple of these things out here, because they license. You don't need a driver's license at all, driver's license.
Right.
It's crazy.
I know, right?
I don't know, whatever you guys think on that. I would assume, though, that's the employee's responsibility.
I mean, you have to take some responsibility for yourself. I mean, you know, the city can't pay for everything, you know. And, you know, we used to haul our own gravel. We don't do that anymore. You know, we used to haul our own bottom ash. We don't do that anymore. So basically, it's just in town, you know. When they go down and get, like, patching asphalt, they drive that flatbed truck, which doesn't require a CDL.
well, it seems like a risk versus reward thing. If we would need a trip afar, you know, are we paying for that to come back in far and above the 150?
But even if it was, wouldn't it still be the employee's responsibility to?
I would default to job description if it's in there as required for the position, then yeah, it's on that individual. But if
Well, let me put it this way: you're supposed to be able to run the equipment that you're running. We can pay for it. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, we'll pay for it. Fine.
yeah,
You know, I mean,
either I can see both sides.
right? I
It
can
all
too. I
depends
can
on
too.
How is that not covered by insurance? With the insurance we have?
I don't know,
Oh.
it was a bill we received, and therefore it goes to you.
Okay, I move to pay the bills for the month.
I'll second that.
Okay. Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Yes. Okay, meeting adjourned. What?